Hey guys, RPM here. Hope you're doing well, having a really great day. This video, okay, wanted to talk to you guys about ASIC miners, well, crypto mining hardware that I've received over the past couple months, and I mainly have one here that took like a month or like a month and a couple weeks to get because it was stuck in DHL, Cincinnati, Ohio hub. And short story, it was basically stuck with customs for like a month. And then on top of all that, I had to pay customs and duties. Even though I'm in Canada, I had to pay a pretty penny for receiving this shipment from China through DHL. Now, this is a video for also for others, you know, let me know your story down below. Which shipping carrier did you use? And, you know, how much customs and duties did you pay on a certain product? Like, let me know down below. I'm just curious because I've heard a lot of different stories, especially over the past month or two, of people receiving products from China. And of course, everyone knows regarding tariffs, at a point in time, it was like, what, 120, 140% or something like that. And then I know recently, Trump and China basically made a deal. And so I think it's back down to 30%. So as of recording, May 21st, 2025, which, holy crap, Bitcoin is over 111,000 USD. That is absolutely insane. It's good to record that right now. That's crazy. Okay, I want to talk about these two shipments that I got in, the Seal Miner A2 and also the Gold Shell E-AE1M, which was supposed to come to me like a month and like a couple weeks ago. And basically now this thing is really not so much profitable anymore. But I want to talk about my shipping woes with these right after today's sponsor.
So when it comes to crypto miner hosting, the first question we ask ourselves is, what am I going to pay in power? What is your price per kilowatt hour? Now, a lot of companies will advertise 7, 6, even some cases 5-cent hosting, but there's a couple catches to these prices that they don't tell you up front. Here are some of them. Okay, so one is you have to purchase the ASIC through them. They will not let you purchase from an outside vendor, and they often mark up the units 10 to 15%. So if you buy a unit for $5,000 somewhere else, you're probably going to pay $6,000 to go through a hosting facility. Now, if you amortize that difference plus the power that you pay, that 7 cents quickly turns into 10 cents, even high as 11 cents, depending on what unit you get. For the record, we don't do that. We want you to have the best deal possible, so you can purchase your ASIC anywhere you want. Just have it shipped to our facility. Number two, hidden fees. A lot of companies will say, yeah, we'll charge you 7-cent hosting, and then all of a sudden they need 3 months of electric up front. And they do this kind of as a security blanket, which is understandable, but then you get admin fees, racking fees, de-racking fees. I mean, the fees will rack up. If you go and look at these contracts, that's a problem. A lot of people just don't understand that till later when they get hit with the bill. Okay, so number three, hosting companies will not provide an SLA or service level agreement, which guarantees your uptime. So in their contracts, it may say uptime average or up to 90% or 95%. Let me give you some context. Typically 1% of downtime is 7 hours of downtime per month. At Terra Hosting, we average between 98.9 and 99.1% uptime. Last but not least, number four, where your crypto mining equipment is even located. A lot of companies will ship your unit to foreign countries that have really, really cheap power to make a margin on that electric. Not at Terra Hosting. At Terra, all your units stay in the US. We have PPAs in place or purchase power agreements with our facilities that lock in our electrical price. So the chances of your price per kilowatt hour going up are slim to none. All in all, I hope you guys understand what these things are when you're searching for a hosting company. If you have any questions about Terra Hosting, go ahead and email me at contact@terrahosting.io. Talk to you soon.
Okay, so this Gold Shell E-AE1M, okay, this is an Aleo ASIC miner. I think it does like, what, 300 mega hash at, I already forgot the power consumption. But anyways, I'll have another video about that. I'm not going to unbox these in this video. I just mainly want to talk about shipping, tariffs, and whatever, all that kind of stuff. People paying absorbent amount on, you know, customs and duties. Okay, that's mainly what I want to get at in this video, and hopefully you guys can give me your stories. Anyways, this Gold Shell AE1M, okay, was shipped out on April 18th. With DHL, they announced that they would be suspending global shipments over $800 to US customers. Okay, so basically citing complications from tightened US customs regulations, which I believe is kind of okay now. I'm not quite sure, but hence my packages have been released, so maybe it's okay now. But there was a temporary suspension affected business to consumer shipments. Okay, I guess more so in beginning of April, or this is when my package got stuck, right? While business to business shipments were not initially suspended, although they could experience delays. So this is what I had, okay? Mine was a business shipment, but it took over a month and like a week or two to get this gold shell miner to me. Now, I had to pay a pretty penny on customs and duties as well, like in the beginning, and then it was essentially stuck with DHL in their Cincinnati, Ohio location till like May, I think 18th or so. So basically a month, and then a couple days later, I received this thing. So actually like a month and a couple days, basically, it was held up with DHL. Normally it takes what, 3, sometimes 2 days to ship me products from Hong Kong to Canada. Usually it's pretty fast. Now, in terms of customs and duties, I did have to pay a couple $100s on this unit. So I'd have to say the value that they put this at was definitely quite high. And it sucks for me, I had to pay that out of pocket, obviously. And also, you know, I received these from, this one is actually from Gold Shells, but I had to pay taxes on products like this that are sent to me from companies who want me to do a review, essentially. They don't have to tell me what to say, but I get to do a review. So not only do I have to pay the tax on the, you know, value of this miner, but I also have to pay the customs and duties that come in, which totally sucks. So I obviously have to make other forms of money to, you know, pay the taxes on this and the customs and duties. Anyways, I'm just rambling. I'm not complaining, even though I think right now, I think this thing's only making like what, $8 a day, when I think like last month it was making like $30 a day. I'll talk about that when I do the review on this unit. But anyways, April 28th, 2025, DHL did say, okay, a couple weeks ago, that they now withdrew the suspension on B2C shipments, okay? So over the past month or so, there's just been this huge backlog of either it's personal shipments and business shipments that were just stuck with DHL. So it took them, I guess, a month, I guess for my product, my shipment here, to get released from customs. And look, it even says opened and resealed by customs. Actually, that's also happened to my seal miner as well. I'll talk about this shortly, but yeah, look, they obviously opened it to inspect it to see if the actual value was, I guess, what it is. But I guess that's with Gold Shell, whatever value that they put it at, I'm not quite sure. Obviously in Canada, I don't have that, you know, 120, 140% tariff or whatever. And I know a lot of my American friends, they had that issue regarding whatever product they received from China. They got a pretty massive bill. And I know a lot of people who received their gold shell bite over the past month, like Retro Mike Tech and I think Chump Change XD and even DJ Mines recently, they did not accept their gold shell bite because the tariff or their customs and duties that they had to pay on it was more than the actual value of the freaking unit itself. So that is actually pretty bad. I myself, I received my bite just like a couple weeks ago and I had to pay about $180. I'm still kind of confused. I feel like I got hit with that tariff thing even though I'm in Canada. But let me know down below if you guys have any products that you received from anywhere in China or anywhere, and especially for my American friends, if you guys had to pay or did not pay because it was too large, right? The payment was just brutal. I heard also of some people who bought Antminer L9s, like big boy ASIC miners, and they just said, no, they can't pay another 125% on the value of like a $8,000 L9. So that'd be like what, $10,000 customs fee? Like, hell no. Anyways, just venting my like frustration here, which I believe is over now, okay? Now, let me talk about this seal miner here, okay? So Crypto Miner Bros shipped this to me about a week and a half ago, and it was stuck with customs on inspection, okay? Look, it even says, look at this, opened and resealed by customs. Okay, another one that was opened by them. Looks like I got a massive dent on the side here. That's just probably from shipping. Someone just opened it like this. Have a video opening this up tomorrow, I guess. But anyways, yeah, this was definitely opened by customs, but it was stuck in the Cincinnati, Ohio location for about a week. And so that wasn't as bad as like the month that this gold shell unit was, right? So I think it's definitely getting better. And also with that, you know, announcement that they've basically withdrew, right? Back in April 28th, it's now resumed essentially. So I think that also helped as well. But let me know down below. Another thing, I also had shipments, not from DHL. Okay, so this is specifically 2 DHL shipments. Now I also had UPS shipments come from me from China, and those went directly to me in Canada. They didn't stop in the US, so I didn't have that issue with, you know, customs, you know, opening my products and, you know, inspecting them, right? The USA, a lot tighter regulation and inspecting everything, I guess, under $800 or something now. I'm glad I got the SailMiner A2 here successfully. Granted, I don't know if it works. It looks pretty banged up, but we'll see in that video. But yeah, UPS from China or from Hong Kong to me, to Canada, it was normal 3 to 4 day shipment, and I didn't have to go through all that BS of waiting at customs or anything like that through the US. So, word of warning for all my Canadian friends, if you're going to be shipping something, ask the reseller or the company who's shipping you something to use UPS. Now, UPS is also not cheap when it comes to customs and duties, because I did receive my bite from UPS, and yeah, the customs for me was like, I think I said $180 or something. Yeah, pretty brutal. Okay, guys, yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about in this video. I want to know from all of you guys, just in the community here, how has logistics in terms of the products that you bought overseas? Did you have to pay a massive amount in, you know, tariff and, you know, customs and duties and whatnot? Let me know down below. Let me know if you know, returned it, or, you know, you didn't want to pay the customs and duties because it was just way too much. Though I think all that stuff may have subsided now, because I think everything is now back down to what, 30% from China. But yeah, I think ASIC shipments and whatnot are okay now. Let me know down below recently over the past week if you guys have been receiving your stuff now like I have. Okay, I'll see you all in the next video. Just wanted to make a dedicated video about what's been happening, I guess, shipping wise, because, you know, big boy miners that are coming to crypto miners, it's been a pretty big burden for everyone across the board. But I think it's resolved now, and there shouldn't be too many issues going forward. Okay, I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one. Peace out. Stay tuned. I'm gonna open up this SealMiner A2 and the unprofitable AE1M after a month and a bit of receiving it. All right, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out. Peace out.